Good evening, guys. And today we'll be, continuing with the Linux itself today also. So today's session is a day 16 session. So day 16 of Linux. So today we will be trying to, firstly we'll try to understand about the Linux permission management actually. Last class we did the Linux user management, right? How to create user accounts and all, right? How to play with the user accounts, what are the permission to give, how to set the password, and also we saw some of the other commands like ag that will give you some kind of a policy settings for your passwords and all, right? So those things and all we had covered in the last session, and today we will be covering few basic small, these are all very small topics in Linux actually, but it will be very helpful for us to understand or learn all these things, because somewhere in your DevOps work, right, you would be working on all these things actually. I mean, you'll come across Systemctl, you have come across sudo. Few things we will be covering uh, with these small topics actually, and also the cron tab, and also like we have to even check for that arrays also, how to create an array, how to declare any variable as an array in case of shell scripts and all. So though like arrays are used, but what happen if you see in the real time, right? Or if you see examples in the shell script, right, you won't see much of the implementation of arrays being used. But still, yes, arrays are there. You can have an arrays as we have in all other languages, right? Arrays, you can create arrays, you can create list. Similarly, arrays also can be created in Linux actually. I mean, in the shell script actually. So that's how. So let's start with the Linux permission management actually. Okay. I remember, like in one of the very previous session, right, we had discussed about something on the permissions, right? Like for example, let me log into the server. Okay, let me log into one of the server. So I have logged into another server. Now you know that very well that whenever we create any files or any directory, right, a default permission would be given, right? So the default permission will be given. So default permissions are given for files and directories, right? Default permissions are given for files and directories, right? And the permissions, what are the default permissions which are given? That is based on the umask value, right? A system has a umask. Based on the umask value, it understands that what is the permission I need to give for a directory and what is the permission I need to give for a normal file creation. So whenever you're creating a file or whenever you're creating a directory, so based on this umask value, the kernel of the system understand what is a permission or the default permission need to be provided, right? Now, if you do an LSFNL long listing, you could see that there are so many files and so many directories are there. There is no directory. Let me create a directory, mkdir, something, Amar, anything. I'm going to do an LSFNL. You could see that Amar is a directory which got created, and this is the default permission which is provided. And this we already discussed in the last session also, or in the previous session, that what this all denotes. So basically there are 9 dashes are there here, plus one D is there actually. So 9 plus 1, 10 dashes are there actually, right? And also here it should be dot should be there, but I don't know, dot is missing here. Dot should also be there. Dot is used for some special permission. So basically what happened, right, here you have something like 10 dashes are there, sir, like this: 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 10. And also like at the after the 10th dash, right, you have some dot like actually like this. So let me open an MS Paint actually, that will be good. So we know that actually that, sorry, okay, so So you have something like dash like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 dashes are there, sir, actually, like this. As well as you will have one dot also like this, actually, at the end. Here you are not finding it out here, but usually dot would be there actually. So here the 10 dashes is another, it is provided for the permissions, right? Now, so basically what happened is the first dash represents always the what is a file type actually. If it's a directory, it will be D like this. If it is a normal file, it will be a blank. If it is a soft link, it will be L. So based on the file type, the first dash will denote what is a type of file, right? And the rest, all 9 dashes, is divided into 3 groups actually. One is a user, or the owner will say group, and others. So this we call it as a user, for the user, and this is for the group, and this is for the others actually, others permissions. So suppose I have logged in as a root actually in my system. I logged in as a root, and I'll be creating some file by using touch something. I'll create Alice file, and I'll create a directory by name mkdir bob. Like that, I'll be trying to create many files or directories as being a root user. So what the system will do, that the default permission, whatever the permission given for a file or directory or any type of file, it is all provided. It is based on the umask value actually. It is based on the umask value. For the umask value, you know very well that for the root it is 0 to 2. That is the umask value. If you execute the command umask, you will see that 0 to 2. First 0 you can you can ignore as of now. That is for some special permission. Just consider the next 3 digit, that is 0 to 2. 0 to 2 is a umask value for the root user. The same thing if it is a for a normal user like this, and here it's a normal user. For the normal user, umask value is what? 0, 0, 2. So these are umask value for the normal users actually. Now, whenever you create any directories, like for example, mkdir bob, you create a bob directory. For a directory, always the permission will be 777, but you need to minus the umask value actually. You need to minus the umask value. Like, so for the directory, always what happened, right? 777 is a permission actually default. You need to minus with the umask value 022. This we have seen at the last session also like this. So what is the default permission you go for a directory? 755. Now what is this numerical 755 everything? So basically there are 3 permissions are there. One is a R, W, and X. If you see ls-l, you know that there is an R, there is a W, there is a X actually. Again there's an R. Here nothing, blank is there. It means that it is W, but there's blank. It means that some permission is not given, and X. X is my execute. Then again R, blank here, and X. So RWX, 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 like this the permissions are given. Now here R means read, W means write, X means execute actually. R means read, and always the value, the numerical value or the octa value is always 4 actually. Similarly, for the W means it is a write permission, and for the write permission, always the numerical value or the octa value is 2 actually. And X means execute permission, and the value is 1. So usually when you have, so this 7, it represents for the owner or the user actually, and this 7 represent for the group, and this 7 is represent for the others. If you have RWX here, then 4, if you add it, 4 plus 2 plus 1, 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7, or 7. So it means that the whoever is created a file, suppose root has created this file Alice. So Alice RWX, not read, write, execute. All the 3 sets of permissions are given for the root user because he's the owner of the file, or he's a user who created this file. Correct? Group, by default, what happened, right? In Linux system or in Unix system, whenever you create accounts, right? Whenever we create account, user accounts actually, user accounts, by default, even the group with the same name, gets created. It means that suppose you create a user account by name user add Mahesh, you create in a system. Okay. by default what happened, Mahesh user account is also getting created. Normal user by name Mahesh account is also getting created, as well as the Mahesh user with the group name is also getting created by default. Always, whenever you will not say that, oh, only I don't want to create a group, I want to only create normal. No, it's not like that. It will create both. It means that here the normal user will be created Mahesh, as well as a group with the same name will be created, and he will be the part of his group itself. Actually, the same user Mahesh will be part of the group itself. He himself will be the owner for that group also, like that. So what is happening that when he is having, suppose group is something like it is his friend circles actually. Mahesh friend circle is under the group actually. So Mahesh is a user account. Whenever Mahesh creates a user account, suppose touch Alice, he will be given all permission, R, W, X, read, write, execute. Group is something like, okay, I am the friend of Mahesh, Naresh is a friend of Mahesh. There are so many people are there who are friends of Naresh. Even they want some kind of a permission on the files and directories maintained by the Mahesh user account. Then some set of permissions is given for the group user account. It means that if I am Rajesh is a part of his group, then Rajesh will have access to that files. Okay. Others, something apart from the group, suppose like Mahesh, some very far friend is there, very old school friend is there. He belongs to some other category. So it means that he's a normal user. He's some other user actually, like that, right? So usually what happened, right? In a system, suppose Mahesh is there, Naresh is there. I have created user account Mahesh, Naresh, Suresh. 3 accounts are created. Now Mahesh, whenever he is creating any file or directory, what about Naresh and what about Suresh? Whether they, what kind of permission they'll get, or how they can access that file, what is created by, they can only access the file based on the others permission what is provided here. Whatever it is provided. Suppose here write is for R is for read permission is provided. It means that Naresh and Mahesh, they can only read that file. They cannot write the file. They cannot execute that file, like that. Similarly, suppose the user, the other permission has R and X, no W. So it means that apart from Mahesh, Naresh and Suresh will have a read permission onto that file or a directory, or they will have an execute permission onto the file and directory. Execute means for a directory when it comes, he will try to get inside the CD, inside the directory. It means that he can do a CD onto the directory actually. So whenever there's an execute permission given, always it means that whenever you have a directory and we want to get inside directory, basically you need an execute permission. Without an execute permission, you cannot get inside a directory. This also we have seen many times in our previous sessions also, correct? So now whenever we are creating a directory or we are creating a file based on the umask value, the default permission is provided. Here in this case, 755. 755 means suppose the root user has created a directory Bob. Root user will have read, write, and execute. All the 3 permissions are there. Fine. That is what we call the 7. 5 means actually what? 5 is nothing but combination of read and execute, right? Read is 4 and execute is 1. So R and X you will have the permission. This will be 0. Means hyphen means nothing here. And again 5 for others. Oh, for others also same permission. 5 plus 4 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So R, W will be blank here because there is no write permission, and execute permission will be there. So this is the default permission will be provided for whenever a root user creates a directory. Similarly, what happened that whenever a user creates a normal file, like here the root user is creating touch Alice, he is creating a file. So what is the default permission is given for this file or a directory file actually? So for the file, basically always that you will create, or the permission is provided with the minusing the umask values with 666 like this. 0 to 2 like this. So when you minus it, it will be, what is the value? 6 minus 0 is 6, 4, 4 like this. So this is the default permission given for a normal file, right? So like that actually. So this is the default. It means the read and write will be there for the owner, read will be there for the group, and read will be there for the other. 4 means a read permission. It means that for the group, read permission will be there, and even for the write, others, read permission will be there. So for the group and others, they will not have a write and they will not have execute. Similarly for others, they will not have a write and they will not have execute. Only read permissions are given for your normal files. So this is what we had discussed, and this is the default umask value will be provided for the root user. Later, due to some reason you want to change it, yes, you can change it, no problem. You can change it, but make sure that actually you need to know for what reason you are changing it. Suppose you say, I want to give 222 only, like this. So now the umask value is 0022. You say that, Rajesh, I want to set the umask value as 02222 like this. sorry, umask 0222 like this. Now you could see that umask value has been changed now. So be careful whenever you are playing with the umask value. Make sure that for what reason you are changing the umask, that you need to know actually. Simply don't change like that. Okay. So it'll lead to a lot of issues at the further actually. So always make sure that you keep the default umask whatever is provided by the system itself. For the root user, it is always 0022. This is a umask value, correct? So always make sure that be or keep the default umask value only. Correct. Now, so now what I will do, I will open one more session terminal, duplicate sessions. Okay, I'll say root, I'll say Red Hat. So I have logged in and I'll see what the users are created in my system. Okay, Ravi is only there. Okay, I'll do one thing, sir. I will create a new user account, user add student actually something PASSWD, passwd student. I'll give the password as 123 123. Okay, fine. So now I created a new user by name student actually. Now I will try to switch to that sudo. I'll try to switch to the student user su-student. You know, like as a root user, you can actually jump into any of the user without in asking. It doesn't ask any password, right? Because that root user has a privilege that he can go into any of the normal user home, normal user accounts home directory. He can go. Okay. Now what the root user will do? Now let's see that. Okay, we will just experiment how the permission works actually. Now you could see that if I create a directory mkdir something like /dev team, so I created a directory by name /dev team. Okay, when I do lsfnld /dev team, can you see the permission here, guys? So read, write, execute for the owner, read and execute for the group, read and execute for the others. So, and who is the owner of the file? Root is the owner. This is a user ID. Who is a group ID? What is a group name? Same. Root is itself is a group actually. This is the size of the not size. Yeah, this is the size of the file, and this is what it basically timestamp. So you will have some information when you do LSF and LD onto the /dev. Now, when it comes to students, student is a normal user. He comes from the other category. Like here, he comes to the others category. In others category, you could see that he is having a permission of read and execute. So let me do one thing. I will create some file also under /dev team. Let me create an alias file under /dev team. I will create a bob file under /dev team. Let me create one directory, something John or Tom or anything. Right. So these are two files, and this is a normal directory which is got created under the dev team. Right. Now let's see whether the student has a read permission. So what for the read permission, what you will do? You will do ls to /dev team. Actually, he is able to do an ls actually. Clear, guys? Now here he doesn't have a write permission, but he has an execute permission. Let the student user see whether he can enter inside the directory. He can do a cd to dev team because he has even execute permission also. He can do a cd also. See, he can do a cd, but here you could see that he can do an ls also. It show, but he doesn't have a write permission. Correct, right? He doesn't have a write permission. Now what he will do? He will try to create one more file. Touch. What is it? Annie, something Annie. Touch Annie. See, now the student doesn't have the permission to create the file because like he belongs to others doesn't have the right permission. Is it clear, guys? So he is not able to create a file or that. He can do a cd and he can do an ls. That's all fine because he's having a read permission, he's having execute permission, but he doesn't have a write permission. Hence he will not be able to create a file or even create a directory also. Anything. See, he doesn't have a permission to create a directory or a normal file. Is it? Are you able to understand, sir? Is it fine till here?
Yeah, yes, Rajesh.
Okay. So he doesn't have the permission, right? Now what he will do? right? Okay, now you say that Rajesh, I want to even remove the read permission of the others actually. Okay, to change or to modify the permission, guys, we'll always use a chmod command. Change mode or change permission. Say I say chmod because I know that means this is the others permission. There's the numerical O means others. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to remove the read permission from him. From which slash dev team is a directory. I removed the read permission. Now, if I do an lsfnld slash dev team, okay, for the normal user, for the others, now read is also gone. He has removed it. Now, let's see whether the student is able to do an ls to the slash dev team. Okay, he doesn't have the permission. So it means that now, right now, I just removed the read permission by using O means others, minus means you are removing the read permission. Similarly, you can even do like this also. Chmod other, even you are removing the execute permission also. See, he is having a read, he doesn't have the what he is having, he doesn't have the read permission, he doesn't have the write permission, but he has execute permission. So let's see whether the student can able to get inside the dev team. Yes, he can do a CD. See, because he has an execute permission, but he doesn't have a read permission, he doesn't have a write permission. That's what he's not able to do ls, or he's not able to do a touch to create a file. That permission he doesn't have it. Correct. Now what will happen that I will try to even remove the execute permission also from the slash dev team. And let's see lsfnld slash dev team. Now you could see that there are no permission, all are blank. Hyphen means blank. No permission, zero permissions. Now whether the student is able to do a ls to the slash dev team. No, he's not able to do it. Okay. Let him do whether he can do a CD onto the slash dev team. No, he'll not be able. So he doesn't have any permission. Right? So default permission was given RW something. So that R and X that was. So again, you want to come back, make sure that you want to give the default permission again back, right? You can say chmod O means others, plus you can say means you are adding actually what it had. It has a read permission, it has execute permission to the slash dev team. Correct. Now again you do lsfnld of slash dev team. Now you see that you have got back the same permission what it was previous. Now you say that okay Rajesh, fine, I got it. Now I want to give the execute permission also or write permission so that other can also even able to write under the dev team. So for that you have to say chmod O means other plus W write permission to the slash dev team. Right. Now you do an ls-ld. Guys, this is very important. We have to know all these things because while working with the DevOps, right, we will be coming across with a lot of permissions and all. You need to do a lot of change the ownership, change the file permission and all. We'll be playing with all these commands. Hence, we should know actually how it behaves in the next section. Now you could see that I'm having all the three permissions for others. Hence, this directory has turned into green color like this. Once the other users has all the read, write, execute, all these three permissions set, right, it will turn into green color actually. So now you have given the write permission also. Let us see if I'm able to do a ls to the slash dev team. Yes, he'll be able to do. Fine. Can he do a cd to the slash dev team? Yes, he can do cd to the slash dev. Can he create any other file? Like he will create any file. See, he's able to create also. Right. So in that way, what happened, right? Suppose in case like some other user is there and he wants some permission onto the particular directory, right? He will request for the system admin or the root user that, hey, Q, please give me the permission, man. So for some time period being what happened, right? The root user will give permission like this, only for some limited time period. He might say that, okay, I'll give the permission for you for 2 hours. Whatever you want you do into the directory. Later, I will remove that permission. Like that, he will tell. So that the user will be given some time period of 2 or 3 hours. There, he will do some operations based on this, based on the permission provided by the root user or the system admin or the root or the supervisor, whoever it might be, they will give the permission. Okay. So now this is the way. And also, if you want to remove all the permission, you can use O and how to change all the permission. There are different ways, guys, actually to change the permission. One is a chmod. You saw that O plus RX, O plus O minus and all, right? Even you can do, suppose you say that Rajesh, I want to give blank. Should not give all the permissions. I need to give a blank. No problem. You have to say chmod 0 O equals minus 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 like 3 hyphens to the slash dev team. Plus FNLD. slash dev team. Now we could see that actually, see, let us come back to this. It means that it doesn't have any permission. You have removed all the permissions, right? Now, now the question comes here that suppose, assume that you are changing, there are a lot of users are there. Here, you could see that here in this system, right, you are having a student also. Suppose I will create some more user accounts like by name user add Harry, okay, user add Natasha, something, user add Sarah. You'll be having tons and tons of user accounts, right? Now, when you are changing these permissions, other permissions here, this other permission, the changes will get reflected to all these users, right? Harry will also have the permission because he also belong to other user only, right? Even Natasha also has, like for example, assume the same thing, chmod o others plus rwx, same thing, and give the slash dev team, lsfnld slash dev team. Okay, see, he has all the permission. Now, student user was doing all this test fine. Now, suppose assume that Natasha, if she also can do any operation onto the slash journal, can she do a slash dev team? She can do it because she is an others, right? She's a normal user only. She belongs to other category. So even she will also get the same permission. See, she can also create file like this. She can also do a lot of operations. But in the real time, in the scenario, right, it should not happen, right? Suppose you say that Rajesh, I want to give other permission only to the student user, not for other users. There are many other users are there like Harry, Natasha, Sarah, Suresh, Naresh, right? I should not give permission to those users actually. I should only give to the permission only to the student user account actually. He can only do any operation onto the slash dev team. Other users should not do. Then how to do it actually, or what is the solution for this? Guys, basically there will be two solutions. One, what you can do that actually, if you do a LSF and LD of slash dev team, can you see that there's a user ID and there's a group ID? Group is user, root itself is a group actually. So you do one thing, you make the student user as a part of the roots group user only. Please add him into the root users group account. If the student is added into the roots group account, okay, whatever group what are the group permissions are there, that will be even applicable to even for the student user also. That is one case, or it means that actually may or add the student itself as a part of the roots group account. Okay, that is fine. That's the first solution. Second solution, what you can do is that actually you can actually create a group, create a new group, add the slash dev team directory into that group, right? Into that group, you create a new group, okay, add it, and also the student, right, the student, you make that part of that newly created group. So so what will happen, that whatever the group user, right, whatever the permission it has, that will be applicable to student only, because you have created a new group and you have added only the student for into that group, not Harry, Natasha and Sarah. You have not added these users into that group. Then whatever the permissions will be there for that group, right, that will be applicable even for the student user also. So these are the two ways where you can you can make sure that the student whatever your permission is required, right, for others, it will be only applicable for the student user, not for any other users. Okay, so now let's see how things works now. So how to do it actually, these things. Okay, now you could see that actually when I execute groups, there's a command groups, and if I do a root actually, so groups and give the roots, right? If you give it, it will show that who are all the users who are part of the roots group user account. There are no, only root itself is there, who himself is a group owner, as well as he is a part of the root. Okay, fine. Now what I need to do, I need to add the student into the roots group account. So to do that, what you have to do, that user mod, to say user mod hyphen capital G root, okay, and student. So it means that you're making a student as part of the roots group account. G means group actually. Now you say enter. So now if you execute the group command and just say root, now we can you see it? Uh, or else I have to do a groups actually, not roots, groups of the student actually. Now the student will say that, oh, he is a part of the roots group also, like this. Okay, so now you have made the student as a part of the root group now. Now if you do an LSF and LD to slash dev team actually. See, for the group, this is the permission guys, RWX. But here what is happening that you don't have the right permission. Now let's see whether the student is able to do it. Let me exit out from the student one time, and again I switch to the student. Okay, now can he able to do an ls to the slash dev team? Yes, he's able to do. Can he do a cd to the slash dev team? If he does, oh, it means that he has the right permission. Can he create any file? Let us see. Touch file one something. He doesn't have. It means that now this student has become the part of this group user account, that is roots group account. The roots group account will have this permission. Okay, now it means that you have made the part of this group so that whatever this permission is there here, right? There he can get it. Now you will say, Rajesh, I want even the right permission also. So no problem. What you can say chmod. Okay, Gmail is group plus W, right permission to the slash dev team. Now you have to LSF and LD to the slash dev team. See, now have you given the W permission also? Now here come back to the student. See, can he create the file now? Touch file one. See, now he is able to create the file one, or else he is able to create a directory. Something. So see, we can do an operation like this. So this is the one way where you are making the student as a part of the roots group account itself by using a user mod g, specify the roots username, and then specify the student. So this is one way. Okay. The next way is what I said, that you need to create one group account only, a new group account, then add that group account. Okay, add that group account so that actually a student will become a part of the group, and he can he can do any kind of a activity based on what you have created, right? So for doing that, actually what you have to do, that you need to create some group. Let me do one thing. Let me create one group by name group add. Okay, and I will give something like any name. Actually, I'll give Dave actually. Group add Dave. So you have created a group user by name Dave actually. Okay. Okay. Now what is happening, that if you have to say chgrp, change the group of Dave. Okay, after Dave user to the slash Dave team. Okay. Now if you do an LSF and LD to the slash Dave team, can you see here now the instead of root user, now the Dave user, now the Dave group has become a group account. Okay, group account for this slash Dave team actually. Okay, let me do one thing, guys. Let me change the other groups also. Equals or W permission to the slash Dave team. Okay. So now if you do an LSF and LD, so now you could see that actually, see, you have made a part of the devs group only now. Okay. So now what you have to do, that after that you have to say user mod hyphen capital G. So Dave is a group name, and you need to make your student under that group name Dave. Okay. Now if you execute the groups command onto the student, see, now student is a part of the Dave group now. Okay, guys. So in that way, you can achieve whatever is required for the student to execute or perform some task on it, right? You can achieve in these two ways actually. Or else you say, Rajesh, what happened, right? Okay, fine, I don't want to do all these things, but what is happening is that actually, okay, let it be like the beginning only. Like I'll do one thing, guys. I will do a ch own command. Ch own is a ownership, change the ownership actually. If I do a LSF and LD, okay, slash dev team. So here you could see the root user is a user, group is Dave actually, and this is the permission. Now ch own, change the ownership of what? Of the root of the as what? Root of for this root colon root for the slash dev team like this. Now if you do an LSF and LD slash dev team, you have brought back again back to the root itself actually. Ch1 means change the ownership for the user as well as the group. Both I'm changing, okay, for the slash dev team. So now you have changed the ownership of the slash dev team. Okay, clear guys? So what I'm trying to do tell that now again what is happening is that here if you say chmod for the group, remove the right permission from the slash dev team. So it becomes whatever we had in the previous way, right? Same thing, RWX, right? Now you say that Rajesh, student is there, right? Student. The student, he want to perform all the operation, RWX operation, but he belongs to the others category, means he has only this permission. But I want to make sure that he becomes a owner of the slash dev team so that he can do whatever the root user is doing. No, he has authority to do everything. So in that case, what happened? You have to say ch own student colon root slash dev team. See, you have changed the ownership of the slash dev team to the student now. See, now student has become a owner of this slash dev directory. So now he can play everything. It means that he is having a read permission, write permission, execute permission. Whereas the other users like Harry, Natasha, and all, right? Harry, Natasha, and Sarah, they still belong to the other only. They will have only this permission. It means that the student itself has become a owner for this slash dev team directory. So this also possible, but usually what happened, right? This is possible when suppose assume that you are trying to create some files or directory from being from one user, and when you try to copy that user that file or a directory to some other user account, right? There what happened that these permissions or these groups and all or the owners and all will not be changed. Later you need to do a changes, okay, based on the user where you have copied, right? There in that case you have to use a ch1 command. Ch1 means change the ownership of that file or a directory like that. So now you could see that student has an access to everything because now he's a owner, right? He can get into the cd to the slash dev team. He can do anything. He can even do rm if an f star. See, he can remove anything. He can do any operation because now he's a owner of that slash dev team directory. Correct. So that's what the little thing about the permission which I was saying actually. And you can even give like the permissions for means at a time the full permission you can give. Like for example, chmod, user group and others. Give the read write execute permission for the slash dev team. Okay? When you do a sorry I did here only, but no problem. When you do lsf and ld slash dev team, all permissions are given. See, like this also we are given. This is in a alphabetical way. We can even give with a numerical way also. How to do both are same actually. So either in the alphabetical way you can give the permission or even in the numerical way. Numerical way means what it is, something like that. You have to give you have to give the permission means chmod. You have to give 777 like this to the slash dev team. This is the same way as we are doing same in the alphabetical, right? Numerical also can do the same thing. Both are same actually. But here you have a better control over the users because like here alphabetical numerical you can actually make sure that what are the permission has to be given for each and every user that you can control in a nice way if you are using alphabetical. Both are same guys. Anything you can use it. There's no issue onto that actually. Okay. Now so like that, for example, if I say ch, I'll do it here itself. Ch mode, I can even do 755 to the slash dev team. Okay. Now it has come back to the previous permission what it was given. Okay. 755. If it says ch mod 000, I don't want to give any permission to the slash dev team. Okay. When I do lsf and ld to slash dev team, see, sorry, you have removed all the permissions like this. See, all permission you have removed. Okay, guys. Okay. So now Okay, this is one part actually, and you can play, as I said, numerical as well as alphabetical. Anything you can give it actually. Okay. So, any doubt you have till here? If not, I will proceed further. Okay, now. So I will do one thing. I'll make it back to the same user account what we had. So if I do LSF and LD, it has a student and root user, right? Student is a owner and the root is a group. Okay, group owner for that, for the slash dev team. So I'll make it change to ch1. Yeah, but one more thing I want to make it, one more thing I want to make it clear for you guys. Okay, let me do the changes for this file 755 to the slash dev team. Okay, so I change the permission. When you do LSF and LD, you know very well that you have got back the permission, right? Now if you get inside the slash dev team, okay, and if you create a file, touch file 1, mkdir file 2. When you do ls-l, see, can you see still the user is root and the group name is root only are getting created, right? Right, correct, right? So it means that you will say that Rajesh, even though you had an LSF and LD of slash dev team, here the permission, the student is the owner actually, right? But here still it is showing, while creating it is showing root only. Oh, it will be considering whatever the default value which was there previously, right? That only value it will consider while creating any file or directory. It will not change based on this. This later we have changed, right, based on our requirement, right? But what happened that all these files and directories, sorry, all the files and directories which are newly getting created under this slash dev team, right? It will still have the same user ID and group ID as it was previously. So you'll say, Rajesh, it doesn't work out like this way, Rajesh, because I'm creating a file directory, but it is creating. But you will say, no problem. Later, you change the ownership of all these files. So if you want to change at a time everything, you have to say ch own, okay, student, or you can say hyphen capital R, student, and you'll want to maintain root under the slash dev team, everything star. Okay. Now when you do LSF and LD slash dev team, okay, now you have changed it actually. But with that, you get into the slash dev team directory, LSFNL. See, now you have changed it. Later, whenever any new files or data is getting created, right, you need to manually go and do the ownership changes, sir. System automatically will not give the changes based on whatever it is shown here. So that should always you should keep in mind. And you have faced all this issue. I know that 100% when I am copying any file from one machine to other machine, right? I will see the ownership and all. I will change it actually. I know that, okay. Even though if you are copying from the same user, suppose I am sitting in this machine, okay, with the root user, you need to copy some other file from some other machine where you are copying to the root user only. Then in that case, you need not to change ownership, right? Suppose you say that you are sitting as a root here and you are having one more machine there, the username is root. You are copying a file from some other user, student's accounts user, right? When the file is getting copied over here, it will get as a student only. So there you need to go do and manually do the changes by using ch1 command. Okay, so this also we have seen very lot of times that we'll be using heavily this ch1 command. Even inside our script, even in our command line also, we'll be doing a lot of changes like this. Okay. Now, now it comes to one of the important thing actually, what we call as ACL, access control list. So access control list, okay, it is for special permissions actually. So what is this special permission means? So let me do one thing, guys. Let me create one new directory like mkdir slash India something lsfnld to slash India. Okay. Same thing. Whatever 755 permission, the same thing is given. Now here what happened, right? I have a student, the same stuff. Student, what he can do, he can go inside he can do an, let me create one file also, touch India. Under that, I'll create one file one. Okay. Now here, the student user will do ls of slash India. Okay. He is able to do because he is having a read permission. He can even get inside the directory slash India because he has a execute permission, but he doesn't have a write permission. He cannot create any file, right? Because he doesn't have an execute permission, correct? Now you say that Rajesh, I want to give the execute permission even for the student user also. So what you'll say, okay, go and change the permission over here, man. Go chmod Okay, others plus write permission give to the slash India. You know that we have been keep giving doing this earlier, right? Right permission you're giving to others. But what happened? You can give the right permission, right? And if you do an LSF and LD of slash India, you know very well that you have given a right permission now. Now what happened? The student can happily create any file also now. See touch file too. See he can create a file. I think I have to exit out once and then again switch to the student. Now get inside the CD India slash India. Now he is able to create a file now. Now he's able to create file because he got the permission. But this is the default permission for all the users, right? It's not only applicable for student. If there are so many users are there, Natasha is there, Harry is there, Sarah is there. For everyone, it has a permission, right? So in that case, sir, you should say no, no, no. I should only give the right permission only for the student user, not for the other user. Like Harry should not have. What I will do, Harry, what I'll do one thing. Natasha, I'll do one thing. So for Natasha, what I need, right? I need only the execute permission to be given, not any other permission. Okay. For the Harry, I need to give a read permission and execute permission. Okay. And for the Sarah, I want to give all the permission, read, write, XW. So these are the permissions I need it. It means that for the slash under slash India directory, Natasha should have only execute permission. She doesn't have read and write permission. For the same slash India, Harry should have read and execute permission. He doesn't have write permission. Sarah user should have all the permission. She should be able to do a read, write, and execute. If you do the changes here by using chmod to this users, right? For using the others, actually, it will affect to all the users. In that way, you will not be able to achieve this task, whatever we are having. So under that case, what happened? You need to use an access control list, ACL. So to do it actually, how to do an access control list? Let me do one thing, sir. Let me again change the permission back to 755 to slash India. Okay, INDIA, fine. Now if you do LSF and LD India, right? Now I think LSF and LD slash India. So now the permission has come back. Now what is my requirement? Natasha should have only exit permission. Okay. Or else she should have only read permission, whatever might be. Okay. Harry should have a read and exit permission. Okay, or whatever might be, vice versa, anything can take actually. So in that case, what we will do, see here, how we are going to do here. So now, okay, first there is a command known as get FACL and set FACL. If I do a set or sorry get FACL to slash India, okay, it says that it is showing you the default permission, guys. Whatever the default permissions you have, the special permission that it is showing now. Now you said, Rajesh, I want to set for Natasha, I need to only give the read permission for the under the slash India. I should not give the exit permission or I should not give the write permission. Only read permission you have to give. So to do that, what you will do? You will say set FACTL, FACL, sorry, not FACTL, hyphen M modify user actually. Who is a user? Natasha is a user. What is the permission I need to give? Only read permission. Write and exit, no, zero, blank, empty, to the slash India. Okay? You have given the provided. Now you could see that get FACTL to slash India. Okay? Now you could see, guys, for the Natasha, she's only having the read permission actually. Okay. Now let us see whether Natasha is able to read onto it. So SU hyphen Natasha. So you switch to Natasha. Now, does Natasha has a read means she can do an ls to the slash India. See, she's able to do ls. Why Natasha NATA NA correct? No NATA SHA. But here it is showing actually, but ls slash India. But it is showing actually. Okay. Does the Natasha has the right permission? No, she doesn't have right. Does Natasha has the permission to create a file under India file 3 something? She doesn't have any permission. Similarly, what is happening that I would do a set facl hyphen m modify user is what? I'll give Sarah. What's the permission you want? Rajesh, I want to give only write permission. I don't want to give her write. I want to give only read permission. Write permission, I don't want to give. Yeah, I can give execute permission to her. Where? To slash India. Now again, I'll clear the screen. I'll say get facl to slash India. Now you could see that Natasha is having a read permission and execute permission. Let's see. See, not Natasha, sorry, Sarah. Sorry, I'll exit out from the Natasha. I'll switch to the Sarah user. Okay. So can she do a LSFN LD2 slash India? Yeah, she's able to do it actually. Okay. Whether she can enter into slash India? Yes, she can enter it. See, she's able to do it. Whether she can create a file? No, she doesn't have the permission. Right. So Sarah doesn't have the permission. Okay, fine. Now come back here. Now one more user is left, Harry. So you will say set facl hyphen m. The user is Harry, HRRY, Harry. What permission you will give? I'll give all permission to him. I'll give the read permission, write permission, execute permission onto the slash India. You will say get facl to slash India. Okay. For the Harry, he's having all permission. Let's see. Let Harry get switch to the Harry user now. Okay. CD to slash India, he's able to do it. He's able to do ls. He's able to even create a file also. Okay. With this special permission, see, he's able to create a file also. Now you could understand with the help of this factl, even though you are having different users, still you can maintain a different permission for different users with the help of a set factl and get factl. Correct, guys? Right, correct, guys. So this is a very good way, right? Instead of going and changing for the others, right, which will reflect to all the users, you are maintaining for different users from different permission. This is we call the special permissions. We say. So when I do an LSF and LD to slash India, now you could see that the last rate has been added as a plus actually. Plus means, oh, there is some special permission is there. Oh, user might have did some special permission by using set facl. He might have did permission like that. You will get to know. Earlier was nothing was there. Earlier it was blank. If you see here, see nothing was there, right? If you do an LSF and LD, you could see that nothing was there here. See, it was a blank. Now because of with the help of a set facl, you give permission. Now the plus has been added. This indicates that this directory, right, it is having some special attribute or some special permissions are provided like that. So now what you will do, Rajesh, you will say that Rajesh, I want to remove the I want to remove what I have to remove. I want to remove the permissions now, right? What we did set. I want to remove the permission for your Harry actually. I'll just set facl. Facl. I did hyphen m, right? I have to remove with a hyphen x. I have to use remove. Okay. What is a user Harry? What permission I have to give? What you have to? Nothing. I don't want to give anything. Give slash India like this. See, you are able to remove. Now, if you say get facl slash India, now you could see that. See, Harry has gone now. See, you have removed the complete permission from him. So like that, you say, Rajesh, I want to remove everything at a shot. Sarah, Natasha also I want to remove. So in that case, what happened? You can say set facl. Okay, you can directly say hyphen b and say slash India. See? Now if you say get facl slash India, see, you are removed all the permissions. See, earlier you had set it. Now with the help of just to hyphen b, whatever it is, there are some assume that there are 100 permissions, 100 users permissions are given. Special permissions are given by using set facl. You want to remove everything at a shot, you can use a set facl hyphen b. Okay, hyphen b is blank, or it is used for removing it actually. You want to individually remove each and every user means then you use a hyphen x option. Okay, guys. So this is all about the permissions actually. This is all about the Linux permission management. Okay. There are many things are there, but I think this is sufficient for us to understand. Is it clear, guys? Any doubts you have? Okay, we will move to some next topic actually, Systemctl. It's a small topic. It will take around 15 minutes to complete. Okay, so okay. Now the next topic is Systemctl. We have seen many times the Systemctl, right? The Systemctl is one of the command which is always used to restart some daemon process, right? Like usually what happened, right? In your system, in Linux systems, right? We have, so our topic is a Systemctl topic actually. Usually what happened, right? In our systems, right? A lot of daemon process will be there. Daemon process will be there actually. Daemon process is it's a daemon program. Those process which are used for running some kind of a services actually. Usually what happens, right? Whenever you install any service based package, like for example, you install the SSH package or HTTP package or NFS package or DNS package, right? DNS means name package. Particular to that service, right? There will be some kind of a daemon process will be getting started in your machine actually. So to maintain the status of the daemon or to rerun the status or to stop the status and everything, you have a systemctl command. Even in the earlier machines, right, or in earlier versions, right, of your Linux, right, we had one command, the service command. Still that command is there. We'll say service network restart, service SSD restart, right? Now it has been replaced with the systemctl. Now systemctl is the one which has been used in Linux machine, right? So what we have a, suppose you have a service name, suppose something like this is a service name, okay, and this is the daemon name. This is a service name, and this is the daemon name. Right. For example, here you say that Rajesh, I have installed the SSH package, something. I installed the SSH package. I installed the HTTP package. I installed the NFS package, or I installed the DNS package, or name package, or we call it DNS. We can say DNS package. So these are the service name or the package which you install. Correspondingly, guys, you will be having a service name. For SSH, you have a SSHD service, right? For the HTTP, you have HTTPD. These are daemon services actually. For the NFS, you have a NFS hyphen server. Okay. For the DNS, you have a named service like this. Right. Now, whenever you want to check the status of the SSH or any of the things, like what you will do, you'll go to the server and you will say, suppose like I want to test the SSD service actually. I'll say systemctl. So first the systemctl command, then you have to provide the status and then you provide the service name SSD. See, it will show you the status that this service is running. How long it is running? It is running from last 4 hours 25 minutes ago, right? Now what is happening that now here these are the logs messages which it will provide, certain log messages it will provide, right? And also it will say that internally what is the service it is using. Okay, slash usr has been ssd hyphen d actually. Okay, so and what is the process id or the PID 34304 is a PID which has been assigned to this service SSD service actually. So now what I will do that you will say that Rajesh, I want to restart this service. You know very well that you will say systemctl restart and then say SSD service. Now you could see that the service has been restarted. How to check the, you have to again say systemctl status SSD. Now you could say that it means that this process, whatever the service was there, a restart means what? It has stopped and again it is restarted. Or else you can say it is killed and again it is restarted. So once it restarted, again I'm checking the status. Now could you see that now it is up and running from last 9 seconds ago. It was restarted. Now earlier the PID was 3049. Okay, now you could see the new PID 555110 has been provided, right? And it is listening to the port number 22, right? So this is what you will be doing in a industry actually. Now the point here is that actually if you do a restart, okay, usually in the production side, right, we never restart any service. right? We never restart any service. So what we will do, right? Basically, suppose for the SSH, actually, we have one configuration file which you have seen, right? Under etc SSH and SSSD underscore config. This is the configuration file for the SSD. Suppose later you want to do any changes to your, to the configuration files. So what you will do, you'll go and you will try to do some changes to the some parameter, like from 10 to you just change to 20. So you will change all the parameters into this etc SSH SSD underscore con. Then you'll save this file. Now to bring it to effect, or to the kernel to reread the configuration file again, you will say that I need to restart the service. But if you do a restart to the service, systemctl restart and they say service SSD, maybe there are many clients are there which is actually running on the, or it is using SSD service it is using. Many other clients are there, right? So once you do a restart, all those connections will break actually. All the connections will break. Then it what happened, right? It will be very difficult. It means that if there are 1,000 users have connected to the system using SSD service, if you change the configuration file, now you are unknowingly restarting the service. It means that you are actually breaking all those 1,000 connections actually, and which is not good actually. And in the production environment, right, they will never allow you to restart any service. None of the daemon service they will be allowed. Instead, what they will tell, right, they will tell that okay, you do one thing, you have to do a, since you have did the configuration changes, instead of doing systems CTL restart SD, you have to say reload SSD. So now you could see that if I do a status of SSD, you could see that the process is 5110 and it is running from 2 minutes 60 seconds actually, right? Now when I do a systemctl, okay, reload and specify SSD service, it has reloaded, but it doesn't mean that it has stopped and started. No, it has just reloaded. It means that the kernel or the operating system has reread this configuration file again. Now if you do a systemctl again, status, and if you do SSD, now you could see that still it is running. See, earlier this was started 2 minutes ago. Now you could see that, see, this is up and running from 3 minutes itself. Now you could see the process ID is 5110. See, still it is maintaining the process ID 5110 itself. It is not get killed. It means that you have reloaded. So this is the only option which they use in the production environment. They will not stop or they will not start it actually. Is it clear, guys? Sometime what happened, right? Now you know that actually, Rajesh, if I have a systemctl and if I check the status of SSD, it says that it is active and it is running. That's fine. Assume that if your system will get rebooted, assume that. Will the service will be again be restarted, or whether it will be restarted, right? We don't know. We need to check how to check whether it will be restarted or not. Post your server restart. Then in that case, you have to say systemctl. Okay, you have to say, you have to check with the is enabled SSS. If you do, it say that it is enabled, means you will conclude that okay, after restart again by default this SSD will be restarted by the system again once the system comes up. Means if suddenly if the system goes reboots or you are rebooting, after the reboot completes, when the system comes up, automatically SSD service will get restarted, because here the status is enabled. It means that it will get restarted. Suppose assume that actually you say systemctl disable, say disable, and say SSD. Yeah, you have disabled it. Again, you say systemctl is what is it, sir? Is enabled SSD. See, now it's showing the disabled. It means that now the status means post your reboot of your machine. Once the system comes up, now SSD service will not get started. This you can try at home. You can change the status as a disabled, and you just reboot your system. And if you then later you try to check your system CTL status SSSD post reboot, right? Once the system comes up, you will see that your system, the service will be stopped. It will be something like this: systemctl stop SSD service. Now you could see that status. It will be like this. It will be dead. It will be inactive or dead. You say it will be stopped actually. Okay, guys. So always make sure that it is always a good practice that you always systemctl enable SSH service. It means that always it should be enabled. When you say Systemctl is enabled option and then check the SSD service. So it says it is enabled. It means that post bounce or post your restart of your machine, the SSD will service come up. Then you say Systemctl. I have already stopped it. It says start SSH service. Now it is started. Now it says Systemctl status SSHD. See, the status is now it is up and running. So I am clear on this, sir, guys. So now there is a small command is there. Like here, you need to check the status of service, but you will be getting all this output. You said, Rajesh, I don't want to get all this output, man. I need to check whether the system is the service is started or stopped. Actually, you will say Systemctl is active. So you're asking a question: is it active? Which service? SSD service. Oh, it's active. It will say. Assume that you have stopped the Systemctl. Stop SSD. You have stopped it actually. So the service is stopped now. Now you will say the Systemctl is active SSD service. It's inactive. It means that it's been stopped. So Systemctl status SSD. Now you could see that it has been stopped actually. So this is active will give a one-line information about whether your service is active or inactive. So in our shell scripts and all, we can use this option. So we are checking. So before you're doing any proceeding with any of the other operation, we'll check whether the service is up and or not. If the service is up active, then only do some other operation. If it is not active, no, don't do that operation. First restart the service and then do the operation. Like that, we will check the condition actually. So this is active is very much useful in our day-to-day activity, right? In our automation task or when you're doing writing a shell script for automation, right? We'll be using this option heavily. Is active, sorry, is enabled and all, right? That we are using it heavily. Okay, guys. Now, okay, let me check. Okay, so now one more thing actually, there are something as a system states are there actually. Usually, what happens? There are four states are there, guys. There are four system states are there actually. If you, what are those four system states actually? The four system states are, one is a system states actually. Four system states are graphical dot target, multi-user dot target, rescue dot target, and emergency dot target. These are the four targets which are there. But here in our case, right, I will not be able to showcase this. Okay, what this target is all about. Means why? Because no, because I have been taking the my Linux machine right from the AWS itself actually. AWS means you are only getting some kind of a console or one terminal you are getting. You are not getting any graphical prompt or any multi-user prompt. You won't get it. If you have a single standalone Linux machine which is installed in your laptop in the VMware or your server, some virtual box machine, right? There you can really appreciate these four states actually. But whereas in our case, you will not be able to see it actually. Now, what we have to do is actually how to check which is the default status actually. Then you have to use the command, same command, guys. Systemctl. Currently, what is the status actually? What is the state of Systemctl get hyphen default? It says that it is a graphical target. Actually, it is not graphical target. I changed to graphical target actually today morning actually. So, so you need to change it actually. You have to say that Systemctl set hyphen default multi hyphen user dot target. This is the by default target, sir. This is a by default target. Now, if you say Systemctl get hyphen default, now you could say that it's a multi-user target actually now. So usually what happens, right? Multi-user target means basically more than one user can log in and he can do an operation on the system. By default, what happens? AWS, when they are giving the EC2 machines, right? It will be always be, it will be in the multi-user target mode only. It will not be in the graphical mode and all. Graphical target means basically you need to get a graphical prompt. But here you cannot achieve all those graphical prompts, right? So in that case, what is happening that you will not be able to showcase all these things, whatever I'm saying, right? You will not be able to showcase this system state, but try to understand that graphical prompt is a graphical target is a prompt where you get a graphical user interface, GUI interface, where you can log in as if like you'll get a desktop here, right? Like how we are getting desktop. Same way in the graphical targeter, you'll get the desktop. Now, when it comes to the your multi-user target, there will not be any graphical. There will only be a virtual terminal, only kind of a black screen or the command prompt, right? So here, what happened in a multi-user target? Like usually, what happens? Suppose some people are in a graphical prompt. Actually, they want to go to the multi-user prompt. So how they'll do, right? They'll do like this. How they'll do it? Like this. They'll do. How they do it? Systemctl. Still, I am in a multi-user target. Suppose assume that I want to go to the graphical target. How they'll do? No, in the systemctl isolate graphical dot target like this. As soon as they hit this command, right, they'll switch to the graphical prompt. Actually, here I'll not be able to show because I have procured my Linux here in the AWS, right? I will not be able to show it actually. Now, if you do a systemctl get default. Default is still multi-user target, but you will get inside the graphical prompt. Guys, I will not be able to show this practically over here. You have to just understand that there are different targets out there. Similarly, what is happening that when a user want to get into a rescue mode means suppose there is some crash happen in your system or something, or you have forgotten the root password, right? You need to reset the root password, or you need to reset the system password, root password. Then you want to get into the rescue target, right? Similarly, there is some emergency where some crashes happen. You need to go to the single user mode. Actually, in that case also, you will be isolating. You will say systemctl isolate emergency.target. You will go to the single user prompt actually. So these are used for doing some kind of a debugging purpose or for fixing some issue, system issue for this. This is for the multi-user target where the multiple user can log in. Basically, it will be a command line, right? Where a lot of command line will be there, or else virtual prompts will be there. And this is the graphical target, but it is for the graphical user interface. So this is are the 4 stages of the target. Even this 4 stages is also managed by your systemctl itself. That's the reason I just told about this. Even though it supports all the debug process, also it starts, stops, everything it manages. It also manages your system state also. These are the 4 system states. Okay, guys. So I hope that today you have understood something on user management and systemctl. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll stop it now. And there are few topics, small topics are left, which we will be covering in the next upcoming classes, right? Saturday, Sunday, we will see. Tomorrow, what we'll do, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday, right? Friday, possibly we'll see because Friday evening I'll be traveling. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to take the class or not. But what I will do, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, these 3 days I'll be continuing with the Git session tomorrow. Okay. So once the Git completes, right, probably from next week, we'll start with Jenkins. Okay, guys. So whenever I'm having a free time, right, I will take one only next topic. Like for example, I need to take your, sudo permission is there, right? Sudo permission I have to take a cron job. I take array. Even I need to take a set programming, awk programming, awk programming. There are many topics are there, guys. If you start dwelling into Linux, there are many topics. Like, for example, how to set up Apache, Tomcat, web servers, like for example, Apache or Nginx, right? How to set up a Samba server, how to set up the NFS server, how to set up a mail server, like this. These are these are very interesting topic. We need to know at least configuring from few servers. But these are some of the topics which will be there, kind of a pending, which we'll be doing slowly, guys, actually. And also, like I have a plan to show you some 4 to 5 again advanced script, some 4 to 5 advanced scripts also I want to show. This and all I'll be slowly taking one by one, guys. Don't worry. So set and awk I will take in one class. Similarly, cron, tab, arrays, and sudo and all I will take in one class. And how to set up and all this and all I might take 1 or 2 class. 2 classes is required, and this is required for half an hour to 45 minutes. I need it in for the advanced group. Like that, this slowly will take, but I will make a pointer to all these things so that we will be doing in our near future. All these topics will be covered. Okay. Okay, guys, that's all for the today. And if you're not having any doubts, like we can wind up the sessions today. Naresh, can you stop the session?
Ah, okay.